Hi there, welcome to another video from Parker Adams Boat Sales. I'm Jonathan Parker, and here today we're in Port Solent Marina near Portsmouth in the UK, and we're showing you this Nimbus 320. It's a 2005 boat with a modern D4 210 engine, and we're going to show you all the features and benefits it has to offer, over and above actually what you'd normally get in a Nimbus 320, because this has some interesting options on it. We're going to give you a general walk around and we'll point out the interesting features as we go. Right, the first thing I do like about the Nimbus though is the bathing platform. Now it's a bit different to what you'd normally get. Normally you get a single flat bathing platform, but what this gives you, it's particularly good on a boat like where we're backed onto a concrete mooring. It's easy to step on, there's not a big drop. It's difficult to get up and down otherwise, but this makes life very easy. Side access is very easy, again because of this raised section as well, but it also adds practicality, because you do have storage in here as well. So there's two storage lockers, one either side, and it's wet storage as well. So it's wet locker storage. And there's also space on here for snap davits. So snap davits can be fitted so you can have a tender on the back. And also it's got a nice bathing ladder. But what I do like about the side access on this as well, because Nimbus has always been sort of made for practicality as well as quality. So there's a nice entrance door anyway, but there's actually a step here, and there's loads of grab handles everywhere. Especially when you're transferring from the cockpit to the side deck, sometimes it can be a bit precarious, but with this it's very easy. And there's a really high level rail as well that goes all the way along the roof line. And it's a very easy walk around, non-slip decks, and then it brings you up to the anchor area where it's got an open bow as well. So this is also designed, being a Scandinavian boat, for forward mooring, so beaching and things like that, with a electric anchor windlass which you can control from here, and then obviously anchor storage, anchor change storage in there as well. It's got a lovely stainless steel anchor which I've just noticed as well, which is really nice, and it all looks in beautiful condition. Now generally this Nimbus is in great shape. Let's walk back round, and as you can see, what I also like is actually you can exit the boat from the side as well, so you can get on and off as well from the side, but it's just as easy just to jump back on again. And as we go into the cockpit, you can see it's got cockpit covers, usual fender storage that you get on Nimbus. It's even got an outboard mount as well, which is in addition. But it comes into a nice L-shaped seating area with a nice Nimbus dark blue. I really like the dark blue colours on here. And I like this. I like how they've built in a life ring. You never really see that on any other pleasure boats. A built-in life ring is quite clever and very easy stowed away. A bit of stowage here as well, under this seating in particular, but it actually comes to one of the first things. On the roof just above me, there's actually a solar panel. And the monitoring system is just fitted to the wall here. So it's got a solar panel on there, so if you're remote mooring, then it's very useful. This is just storage, so the engine isn't under here. So there's two storage areas that you can access. One is there when that seat is down, which is a little bit shallower because the fuel tank is under there. And then there's a much bigger one on the starboard side, but there's loads of room. There's even a couple of steps down. This also gives you rear engine access. So this is a shaft drive boat. As I said, it's a Volvo Penta D4 210 with about 770 hours on it. And but this gives you rear access to the gearbox and the shaft. So actually quite nice in addition to that. And the exhaust system and everything is all fitted. There's also that electronic box. This is the second thing that you won't see normally. It's actually a fuel flow computer. And it reads up at the helm, which we'll show you in a minute, but that's where it's plumbed into the fuel feed and return lines, and it will show you actually your actual fuel flow up at the helm. Let's put this down. We've got the usual Nimbus sliding door, which then comes into the saloon area. The saloon area, as you can see, it's lovely and light, with all the windows all the way down. The Nimbuses do this quite well. The coziness that you can do by enclosing the door, and then you've got curtains all the way around as well, which you can shut off, as well as the two opening roofs. So these can open up. These can either open slightly for aeration, or they can slide as well. And they can fix in different positions along the way, like that. And then there's a little catch which you flick to then bring it then back to somewhere. What the hell do you do with that? Easy as that. And then you've got a blind as well that comes across, and you can fix that as well as on the other side. But again, the Nimbus Saloon area, they're fairly clever because it's adaptable. So if you want more than one forward-facing helm seat, then you can add 2 passenger seats by simply just doing that. And now you've got 2 more helm seats. It's a nice addition. Well, it's not really an addition, it's kind of a standard feature, but it's very easy to operate. As you can see, it doesn't take much messing around to do it. And then it brings us over to actually the helm station. Now this is where you see some of the equipment this has been added on. Firstly, this is the fuel meter. So this shows in a digital display the fuel flow when it's in operation. There's also a gauge to show you how much you are heeling to one side or the other. It's not, I don't really know why we need that. We're not on a yacht at the moment, but a lot of yacht owners actually buy boats like this. So when you decide that your yachting days are over, but you still want to stay on the water, Nimbus is very much one of those boats that people turn to. And there's a big Nimbus owners group, and they're very popular boats. So in addition to the fuel flow meter, it has a bow and a stern thruster. Now the bow and stern thruster, great addition, especially because it's a single engine boat. So it really makes the boat very manoeuvrable. Because it's got the D4, this actually has electronic control at the helm. So the electronic control is very easy and light to use. You can move it with one finger. Very easy to use. And it has trim tabs as well. But then we move on to the upgrades on the navigation system. Now we've got a Raymarine Axiom Pro hybrid touch on here, which has been added in. It also has AIS. And also we've got a new autopilot that's been fitted in the current ownership, and a Raymarine I-50, I think this is, and I'm showing speed and depth. So sort of slight upgrades on nav, which is really nice. But then also there's actually a camera system. So there's a rear-facing camera, and this was actually fitted before the upgrade of the Raymarine. But you can see it's very clear and very easy to see, and it's got a kind of a very wide angle of it's got a very wide angle as well, so you can see the full width of the rear boat. Okay, so let's head down and we'll show you the rest of the boat. From here it's pretty standard. So Nimbus 320 layout is you have a forwards, take my shoes off, you have a full forward bed which has got nice height, and it's a nice size as well, quite practical. So as you can see, I'm 6 foot, you can get me fully in here, so 2 adults will quite happily sleep down here. And again, it's got curtains that you can enclose the whole area, and a blind as well for the hatch above, which is nice. And then what you do get with the 320 single engine, which you don't with the twin, because you can get a twin engine option on here, is actually this second cabin. The bed is huge because it uses the space that otherwise, let's see if I can get a light on down here. There we go. So it uses the space that otherwise the second engine would be. So it actually goes back that way to the rear, but also it goes under this way as well. So if I just lay out flat, so that's me again, and I'll put my feet on the end, so you can actually see that this way there's loads of room. But also if you wanted to use this section for storage, you can actually then sleep this way if you're just on your own. So that way is a double bed, it's for 2 people, but if you're a single person you can actually go this way. And there's even storage above on this shelf, and a couple of cushions are here, because these cushions are the infill cushions to make upstairs saloon seating into another bed as well. So very, very practical and a good use of space. It's really clever that they've actually thought to use that space in this way. And then into the head. So it's quite a generous head. A nice worktop, and then standard toilet, but it is electric, so it's electric toilet. And then obviously we've got the light with the curtains as well that we can pull across. This is a shower as well, albeit it makes it into a wet room. But the Nimbus 320 engine access is pretty easy. As I say, I've already shown you the rear. And then, so let me just show you, you can remove the table, but for a quick look, we can see the engine just under there. The engine bay is quite well insulated. So when you're up and running, it's obviously the engine's under the floor, so you can hear it, but it's not too loud, it's not unbearable. You can still talk to each other quite happily while you're going along. Now the D4 210 is different from the bigger engine options because it doesn't have a supercharger. Now the benefit of that is in the rev range between 1500 revs and 2500 revs, that's when the supercharger would normally be cutting in, and they're very loud. So if you wanted to use this boat on riverways where your engine speed would be above 1500 revs, but you don't want to go onto the plane, then the supercharger would be cutting in all the time and makes things very noisy. But not having that this makes this a really viable option for rivers as well, because it's single with a bow and stern thruster, but also it's got enough power that you can plane and cruise at between 17 to 22 knots quite happily. It'll have about a 25, 26 knot top speed. So it's the best of both worlds, it really is. I do like the Nimbus brand. They're always known as a Scandinavian boat for quality, and this is no exception. And with the specification of this, it actually proves to be quite good value for money from what else you can get. But the galley areas is a pretty standard layout. We've got a nice fridge underneath the helm with a freezer compartment, and then we've also got the oven and hob, which is on a bezel actually. You can actually, on a gimbal, sorry, so it can be moved. You can move around at sea. And then you obviously got your hob, twin burner gas hob on the top, and sink as well. So it does have everything, this boat. Yes. So Andrew's asking me to pull out the drawers because they're actually all fitted with Nimbus branded cups and glasses, and they're all moulded, the drawers, to accommodate the cutlery as well as wine glasses, as well as rubbish. Is there any more? Did you find? No.
On the top side.
That one?
Yeah.
And oh, look at that. Plates. Oh, there's even, what's that? It's a thermos, isn't it?
Thermos.
It's like
Thermos
a teapot.
Kettle, teapot. Yeah.
It's a teapot. Well, that's good. And are these all branded as well? Yep. So all the Nimbus branding on everything. And it's really good. It looks like a pretty full set. Quite often you can lose these things over the years, and you end up with replacements, but it is all Nimbus branded. That's really nice. I like that. Thank you for reminding me of that one. But if you want to see more about this, visit our website, parker-adams.co.uk, where it's actively for sale. It's February almost. It's the 30th of January 2023. And I think by the time this video goes live, it probably will be February. And it is for sale now, new to the market. So come and see us, subscribe to our channel, and come and look at our website for other boats that we have for sale, which are similar. But for now, I'm going to say goodbye. Thanks again, and see you on the next video.